Alright guys, welcome back to another review. Now, I'm going to do today a little bit different, and all I'm going to do is do a down low so you can see, and then what we'll do is we'll bring it back up on top and talk about it some more. And with that, today we're going to be introducing the new ARTERY Nugget GT. Now with that, this is basically a dual battery 200 watt pod mod. And the reason why it's a pod mod, I got the accessories that go with it. So you can get the RBA, which let me flip it right. The RBA, which is a rebuildable coil head, okay, and it does have the 510 thread connector on it. So therefore, you can make, different size coils. Now the largest coils I would probably put in this, if it's like anything else, is a 2mm inner diameter. So you have that option, and then I also got the 510 adapter. Now what this allows you to do, because it is a 200 watt device, allows you to convert it to put an RDA or a tank on top of it. So what I'm going to be doing today with all this is we're going to unpackage it, see what's inside of this, look at these, and we're going to do different tests. My testing is going to be based off of other devices that came with 510, oops, that's not the 510, the 510 adapter, which is right here, and the RBA, and see how they perform. Now the reason why I do that is because I've experienced with the Vinci X that with their 510 adapter it has a power cutoff. So let's see if the ARTERY has the power cutoff on it like the Vupu Vinci X. If not, that's going to be one big positive. So without further ado, let's set these off to the side for right now. Inside the box is a dual 18650, 200 watt max output, balanced charging, 0.96 color screen, 8 ml juice capacity on this one. So this is not the TBD UK version. This is for everybody else. I don't know what by XP cores mean. It's a USB Type-C charger. And then on the back side of this, let's zoom it in. Let's see what we can see here. Let's clear it up. All right. So inside you get the Nugget GT mod, a 0.15 XP core pre-installed. So I guess it's a coil head, 510 drip tip, Type-C cable, warranty card, Nugget GT pod, a 0.4 ohm XP core, which is included, extra silicone plug, and the safety card and a user manual. They're actually listing this. And so another product from ARTERY. So as we know, I am a big ARTERY fan, especially when it came to the PAL SE. Let's clear this back up. So from what the color shows on the front of this is I've got the blue edition. Let's clear that up again. Boom, there we go. So I've got the blue edition. So without further ado, let's go ahead. And I got my little scissors out that I use for my cotton, and get a little slice going and open it up to see exactly what's inside of the package. Alright, so this is pretty nice. Okay, is it like that? There it goes. So it's a sleeve. Pop off the sleeve. And here's one nice thing that a lot of manufacturers should be doing. It makes it so much easier to get into your package by having these cutoffs on either side. Now it still has your branding of ARTERY there, ARTERY here. It says Nugget GT on the other side. All you're going to do is grab it and pull it, and also it says Nugget GT on the front. So a lot of labeling and branding. So open that up, set that to the side. You got your user manual, which tells you everything about it. Okay, pretty intensive, shows you everything from filling, coil installation, the plug, how to fill it, so everything's inside. Battery safety card right here. So with the battery safety, it's pretty good, smart to understand what that's for. Your warranty card, so your purchase information, the store you got it from, etc., and customer information. I did get the blue rendition, so let's check it out. So there's the blue inside the package. This is your USB Type-C cable from what I can see. So open it up. Let's see what we got. Alright, so there we go. So there's their 510 drip tip, the additional coil, the additional rubber plug, and an extra 2 O-rings, it looks like. This is not a O-ring based 510 drip tip. And the only thing that I would say that I'm not very happy is the fact that the coil does come in the bag with everything else, which means it can be contaminated. It is not sealed separately. So that would be the only thing. So Type C, if you're going to use it to charge it, which I do not recommend, that's really for software updates. But on the fly, if you have to, you have that cable and that capability to do so. So we'll put that back in the package. What we'll do inside of here, we're just going to take the drip tip out. That's the only thing I'm going to use out of here, because it does have a pod installed already, which I am not going to use their coil for right now. And let's put that back inside. Alright, so set all that back in the package. We're going to pull our mod out. So, actually, we don't even need the 510 drip tip either, so let's throw that back in the box. 510 drip tip is going to come in case you have a, I'm assuming in case you have the, because the mouthpiece come off. Okay, so yeah. So if you don't want to use their mouthpiece, which is their integrated mouthpiece, you can use the 510 drip tip and just slide it in, and there's your drip tip. Or if you have a drip tip that's similar, you can use it. If you don't want it set up like a pod, I'm going to use it the way it's set up. Let's see here, push. So that's how you release your pod from your mod. Coil heads are pre-installed. So this here is the XP. I think this is the 0.15. Yeah, best between 60 and 80 watts. So just push it in. It locks in. Not too hard to understand. I mean, it's okay. So there it goes. You hear it click in. So battery door on the back side, which is pretty nice. So battery orientation is set up. So there you go. The minus and positive put in. It does have the strap here so you can pull your batteries out when you do it. Let's see how well it works. So on the back of the door it does say Nugget GT. So let's see here. Let's zoom it in so you can see that door. Nugget GT. Let's see here. There you go. Manual focused it. Nugget GT by ARTERY, and it says ARTERY on here. So let's put the door on. Easy, magnetic clip. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull out this pod because I want to turn it on, and I don't want it to fire and hit that coil. So 1 2 3 4 5. Nugget GT automatically set at 30 watts. Up, down, 1 2 3. 1 2 3. 1 2 3 4. I have to look at it to see. Hold both down, keys locked. Hold both down, key unlocked. Okay. Trying to figure out which way is it to change the color. Power limit locked. No atomizer. Okay, there it goes. Well, I did have it. So let's pull out the manual real quick to see how we select colors, because that's what I want to do, and that is not in focus. There we go. Oh, no. Let's focus that right there. So I'm going to look at the manual just real quick so I can show you how to do this. Power mode, lock. Okay, that's not English. Let's go back to the English side. That's not English, that's German. That's, okay, Nugget pod. Okay. Okay, that's still not in English. How to replace with a 510 adapter. Power off. How to adjust wattage. Screen colors. Press the fire button and the pause at the same time to change the colors on the screen. Okay, so let's turn it on. It's the fire button. It's positive. And it's not doing it. So as you see, I'm pushing down. And it's not cycling my screens. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm trying everything. I powered it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Well, let's see how it fires up. So it ramps rather quick. 200 watts, and it round robins back down to 5 watts. I would love 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, unlock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
My dear.
So I keep turning it off. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. Lock, unlock. So let's unlock it. 1, 2, 3. Basically, if you can get the screen colors to change, at that point, this will allow you to do a lot more, okay? So the juice capacity of this thing is 8 mils. You fill it up from the bottom down here. And you put your juice in. Just slide your ring over, fill up your juice, make sure your coil's in. So with that, we're going to set this off to the side for real quick. Okay, for right now. And let's look at this. So I did already open it up to see what was like inside of it. And I pre-installed a coil of my own. So that way I had an idea. It's roughly a 0.7.8 ohm coil. It's in that zone. It is a 2mm inner diameter. So here's how it comes in. This is your RBA section of the mod. Or kit. So you open it up, you're going to take your adapter, as you see the 510 on the bottom right there, and then you can see it's threaded here, and it's threaded up underneath the bottom here, so these connect together. You have AFC control right here on for your coil, so you can up and down your airflow, so whatever you need. You're going to unscrew the top right here, and then you can see there's my coil. Let's get it focused for you. So I have a 2mm coil, 2mm inner diameter. Let's get it focused right there. 2mm inner diameter coil, so you can see it's rather small. I've got it midway down, so it's right above that airflow slot. I'll set it up in a second, put some wick in it, because this is what I'm going to end up using. This is meant so you can test fire it. And I'll put it on the mod so you can kind of see what it's ohming out to here. And then we'll see what the mod says itself. So everything's locked in. It says 0.77 is, let's go ahead and get that focus for you. Let's focus that coil, 0.77 ohm coil. Okay, so we know what our coil is. So now what we're going to do is set our DT to the side. So let's go ahead and, before we finish, inside you get a peripheral pouch that when you open it up, you get a Barbie screwdriver, some extra O-rings. They give you 2 space coils, basically. And on the package, they say XP RBA 510 connector, pre-made coils, Kanthal A1 0.6 ohm coils. There's 2 of them. So this is Kanthal inside, a screwdriver, Phillip head screws, and O-rings. 2 O-rings, 2 screws, 1 screwdriver, 2 coils, 510 connector, and then the unit itself. I am not going to use the Kanthal. I'm going to use my fuse Clapton, which is 32 gauge times by 2 by 38. So let's put that to the side. So there's that. So let's check something out. So here's the RBA or RDA 510 adapter for the Nugget GT. So inside it's just a plastic bag with the adapter plate. So this is going to be a plate where you're going to see on the bottom the connectors. You just take your mod, line up the way it's supposed to, and push it down. Make sure it clicks. So now it's on. So what I did is I brought out an RDA. Okay, because it's going to be easier to do. And I know it's got about a 0.9, 0.1 ohm coil in. And I'm going to screw it down. New coil plus or minus, yes. So I can fire this anywhere I want. So therefore this does not have a limitation. But it doesn't give you halves or whatever. So let's take off this top cap so you guys can see this coil fire up. And as you see, that's 19 watts, 21 watts. Okay, it's reading at a 0.90. Okay, so with the RBA, you are not limited on their 510 connector like you are on a lot of mods, which has a power cutoff. This does not have that cutoff on it. So let's take that off. Okay, because as you can see inside this coil, if you look inside, let's clear this up. Let's bring it out some. If you look right inside, you will see mesh. So it's a pretty thick amount of cotton with a big amount of mesh inside, with a big sheet of mesh. Looks like pretty hefty duty mesh inside. So I'm assuming and imagining you could probably get some good flavor off of this coil. I'm going to set that off to the side. We're going to take off the 510 plate, which just pops right off. Set that off to the side. Okay. We're going to take our, once I focus it back, our pre-made RBA. Okay. And I had some cotton set off to the side for this. So now I'm going to take my wick. Let's get this in focus to the camera so you can see it and focus this up a little bit better. I'm going to take my wick right here and put it in. Now remember, you want your wick just where it's just tight enough. Not too tight, not too thin. And all you want to do is push it in. Now I'm using cotton bacon prime, so this wick will actually expand. And you can see on the sides where the juice channels are. You don't want to go all the way in the juice channel. You want to get it to set basically right above it. So when it expands out, it has an area to flow. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to nip it. Basically right here. Which then sets it in right there. Turn it around the other side. Doing the exact same thing. Nipping it there. It pulled it. So now I'm going to even it out. Fluff these ends and set it into the channels. Now, what I'll do is I'll put my cap back on. You want to make sure when you do this, you're not pinching your cotton. That's one big thing you want to remember. Don't pinch your cotton when you're putting your cap back on. Because if you pinch the cotton, what can lead to is this cotton gets trapped inside of the threads. So as you can see, I have just enough wick sticking down underneath. I'll show it to you right. Let's see if I can focus that. See, a little wick there sticking out and a little wick there sticking out. But underneath the juice channel, there's still wicking material area right here where it can wick. So my juice still has plenty of space to come up here. This juice will end up swelling this cotton right here on both sides, so it's cut just right. I cut it right along the base right here, just so that way there's area for it to wick. Now the juice I'm going to choose today, because I don't want to gag and die. Let's see here. What do I have at my table that I can use? Let's do some unicorn treats from Humble. Let's try that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to juice it up from the top a little bit. Get these wicks from the top saturated. And the reason why I'm going to saturate it from the top is to get that cotton to start going. Then I'm going to burn it in a little bit. And then, as you can see, it hit right here. So let's put a little cotton juice there on that cotton. You see it sucked it right in. Do the same on this side. And it sucks it right in. And the reason why you're priming this, it's just like priming a normal coil. Okay? It's the exact same thing as priming a normal coil when you do this. Except with the RBA, it primes a lot faster. So all you have to do now, take this off your mod because it's primed. Make it a little messy because it is an RBA coil. So now let's just take this 510 adapter off, unscrew it, set it off to the side. You know you got your cotton, you got juice everywhere, it's fine. Just grab a paper towel. So you can get this off here. You know, I'm going to run it about half airflow on both sides. I'm going to take my pod, make sure that these juice ports are in there so that way it lines up with the juice ports. Slide my coil in, and there's the RBA. Now I have my part open here so I can take my juice and fill up some juice inside. It says it takes 8 mils. I'm not going to fill it all the way up, just enough. So there's that. Set that off to the side. Take my plug, put it back down. Okay. Now it seems like the plug went in, no problem. Okay, so it has a little extra flap on there. I'm just pushing down to make sure it's in. The last thing you want to do is have your juice flipping out of here. So I always double check that this is sealed in there, which seemed to went in rather nicely, you know. And then it gives you a little flap that you can grab so that way you can do what you need to do. And then you can see your juice on the inside. Set that off to the side. Put it back on the mod. New coil, yes. Ohming out at a 0.77 just like the other mod. You have a little light letting you know it's firing. You can hear it as well. So let's come up a little bit. Get that paper towel out of here. So watch this. See the light right there? Either side lets you know that it's firing. Okay, airflow slots on this on both sides. Rather large ports. It is a little bit on the heavy side. It is metal. It is a dual battery, but you got a lot of juice in this. That's a lot of airflow. It whistles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this by pushing down, pop the pod out. Nothing is leaking, so then I'm just going to adjust the airflow a little bit close, make a little bit, or close it a little bit more. There, lock back down. I'm going to bring it up to 19 watts where I normally would vape it. Actually, let's go to 20. 0.79 is what it's reading at. Okay, so that's basically 20 watts with a 0.79 coil. It says I got 14 hits because I kept hitting the button. It does whistle. I'll tell you that, but even at a quarter airflow, my build in it tastes really nice. Now here's a nice thing. So with this deck, it is a dual battery. So I had a 22 millimeter on here. This is a 25 mil. This is going to be the dwarf direct lung, the DL as they call it. Okay. So let's see, 25 millimeters. And as you're pushing it down, it's pushing the other pin for your contact down. So you can probably get away, I don't have one, like a 26, 27 mil, you know, RDA to fill out this whole gold section. Gold is kind of ugly, but the largest thing I have is a 30 mil, which I am not going to pull out, which will probably be way too much for this. But you could run this on there, no problem. This will fit perfectly fine. No problems at all. Okay. So there you go. That's the Nugget with a 25 mil with some space left. So you can see right there the dwarf direct lung with extra space. So that's with the tank on it, full size with the steam tuner's kit. Okay. So you have it with the 510. And as you push down, these pins will push out for you. And then obviously has a 22 millimeter, because I have them all set up over here on my little stand. 22 millimeters, which this is the Apex RDA, will give you a lot more space on there. Okay, so you'll see a lot more gold, and it's a lot smaller. Obviously, the bigger the tank on there, the more weight the tank is, the more you got to go. So that's that part. So let's go ahead, get ready, bring it on top, and we'll talk about it. The different accessories that you can get for it. And the overall performance of the device itself. You know, I got, you know, just received it in. So this is your first look at the Nugget GT by Artery, one of their new products, with the RBA 510 adapter as well. So you get them both. So I'm going to put the 510 adapter away because I'm not going to use it right now. I may use it later on because it is a 200 watt device. So you do have the ability with this to run something that has a dual coil on it because you do have the power behind it. You still want to be careful in your builds, you know, with it being dual coil. That, remember, the lower the build, the more power you're going to have. So these are the two pieces that came, the accessories I got with it. You get an extra 510 drip tip, you get an extra coil, and basically here's your setup. This is a full kit from Artery itself. So as you can see, you know, it is Artery's kit, and you know, it does look good. You know, it gives you the ability to pop off the top if you don't like it. This here has an O-ring. So what that tells me is, let's check it out. I'll do one thing last on the bottom. Just grab my own 510 out of here, out of my kit, and see what it does. It goes in, but it's loose. Okay. So that one is pretty loose. What else we got in here? I got another one with a dual O-ring. It's a little tighter, but that kind of looks kind of funky if you kind of look at it in a way. To have that. So really, you can need something that doesn't have an O-ring on it unless it's the actual tip from it. So you don't really have the versatility to swap between drip tips, honestly. I can try the one here. It's the last one I have. Nope, won't even fit. So you either use theirs or you're pretty much out of luck as far as drip tips go. But yeah, that's the Artery with their setup. And now what we're going to do, we'll take this, as you see, 20 watts, you know, let's clear it up, I'll let you see it, 20 watts at a 0.78 now. And I'll see you on top. Alright, welcome back to the review. I started a little different today, so this is Josh Wazzy with the Uncharted Vapers. Nope, that fucked all up. No. I can just edit it out. Alright, welcome back. I'm Josh Wazzy with the Uncharted Vapers, and today I did a review and I did it a little bit different. I didn't do an up top introduction. I did everything down below. Now we're on top and we're going to talk about it. Pros, cons, and just that kind of stuff with it. Now, this device was sent to me for the purpose of the review, so thank you. And with that, I'm going to give you my honest opinion about everything. I do like Artery products, so they've done nothing but show me good stuff. And the accessories that were sent with it are additionals that you can purchase with this. They do not come with the kit. You're only going to get the 2 coils, and that's it. Now, with that being said, this is a 200 watt pod mod. So therefore you get the pod side of it and a mod side of it if you buy the accessories. So buying the accessories with this from Artery, in my opinion, are definitely worth it. One, you get a coil that you can build your own coils in. Max size, in my opinion, to build in this, 2mm inner diameter. Now with that being said, that's also based on what wire you're using and gauges. So in my case, I'm running 32 gauge times 2, which means dual core, wrapped in 38 gauge. So it's a fuse clapped in. Very, very fine, very small. It's about the thickness of 27, 28 gauge wire, round wire by itself. So I get a higher resistance with less wraps, but at the same time it keeps thinness down, so therefore I can actually use it, and then I can put the extra wraps on and get more surface area covered. So with that, this is the Nugget GT by Artery. Okay, I did get the blue edition. Okay, the only thing I've noticed, a couple things I've noticed with this, is what the instructions tell you to do to change your colors. It's not working. You know, it's one big flaw for me. I would love to change my color on here, but it does not allow you to do it the way they say. They say hit fire button, hit the up button. Fire button, up button. Fire button, up button. And it's not doing it. Generally, these things are rather easy on their products to change the colors on. Smox is very easy, I'll be honest with you. Sorry I have to say that, but I'll be very honest with you. But with that being said, I've got a dual battery in here, which I'm running KDS Blues. These are rather decent batteries, but it's funny. One battery says it's only half-life, and it's been on the charger. No, it wasn't. It was in a package, so maybe I didn't charge this battery. So let's do this. Let's swap the batteries out. One thing I do like is this door. It is a magnetic door. You do got the pull-off, so I'm going to take these batteries. I'm going to set them back on the charger. I'm going to grab 2 different batteries that I got on the charger, off the charger for right now, that are charged, or supposed to be charged, which are 30 Qs. I'm going to go into base the battery orientation, negative up on one, positive up on one, and negative down. So put my door back on. There's no issues with the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nugget GT. Still, I can't get it to change, but both batteries are fully charged. So with that, there's one con. Getting the colors to change, there's a big issue there. So that's my one problem. Second con I'm going to say is the airflow. It's very loud, even with the airflow cut down. So I'll cut it down and see if I can cut it down any more. Basically, I'm already at a quarter bit of airflow, so let's cut it down to about 1/8 of air. It clips into place, you know, when it goes in, okay? New coil, it's not a new coil, but okay. So we're going to go back to 20 watts. Now, this is the RBA coil, okay? So this is not their coil. So with that, let's go ahead. So, amazing flavor. I mean, this is my coil, so I'm assuming with mesh coils you always get great flavor. I've never had a problem, especially with Artery coils, you know, and Artery pod devices. They've always given great flavor. I'm getting very, very good. Okay, so now I see how to do it. Well, I did it once. Alright, well, I got it from red to purple and then it stopped again. So I guess you gotta wait 30 minutes to an hour or whatever. But I got it on my purple setup. I like purple. Purple's my favorite color. But this is the RBA coil inside of it, so it looks just like their coil, but it is an RBA. The positive about that, it comes with a 510 adapter. So therefore, you can burn your coils and you do not need to run spaced. That's one con that Smock had when they first came in with the RPM. Another positive is with their 510 adapter, it clips in just like the pod does to turn it into a mod, and whatever build you have basically set up on your stand, say you have a stand of tanks and drippers or whatever, you can run what you have in it. So say it's a 1.1, a 1.2, 1.6, like most of my tanks are between a 1.2, which is in the Dwarf right now, up to a 1.6 ohm coil, which is in or 1.5 is inside of my Integra, and my Pico is about a 1.3, 1.4, and it doesn't have a power cutoff. So therefore you can run it. The Vinci X from Vupu, unfortunately, if you put over a 1 ohm coil in, it limited you at 15 watts. This does rather quickly go up in power, so it scales rather quick, and then it round robins down to 5 watts. So you have 5 to 200 watts. Very good. Flavor on this particular setup, because it's mine, at 20 watts. So let's bump this up because I want to see what it does at 30 watts. A little too warm. Let's go down to 25. I mean, you get great flavor. It fits nicely with just their tip. You do get a 510 tip from them, so if you want to use it, you can. But to me, it looks kind of funny having that little 510 tip on there. But even with the 8th airflow hole, you know, let's now try it. I'm going to try this wide open, and you guys can really hear this is a wide open coil now. Full airflow. Clip it back down. So there it is. Yes, keeps asking me. Now it's reading a 0.75, 7577 is fine. I'm going to go up to, again, 25 watts. It gets a little smoother because the air is just basically running straight through, but the flavor goes down. So I'll tell you that now. So let's pop it off again. And see, this is what I'm also doing. I'm testing the taking on and off. So let's cut it down to where I had it. Let's go a little less. Let's only give it about a 1/9 of airflow. Very, very small, minute amount of airflow. And you guys can hear the difference in sound. Oh yeah. Okay. Bring the power back up. Let's just go to 19. That brings it to what I would call a restrictive direct lung. It's pretty loud because 2 airflows. Let's cut one side off. Same no matter what you do, airflow. So, pros on it, looks nice. It fits comfortably in the hand, but it's going to be harder to get. So this is really designed for thumb fires. So it's designed to hold like this. So that much air not being, you know, my coil being that closed off, let's open it up a little bit. I'm going to do about 1/4. And the reason why I'm testing these out is just kind of see so I can tell you guys what it's about. So now we got about 1/4 of the air, 3/4 of the air closed off, so 1/4 airflow open. Wait a second, because I popped it. Yes, now you have to go up. That's the only annoying thing. It constantly asks you to reset your coil. And I'm doing longer drags on it. Puff counter, it's reset itself. I guess every time you pull the pobs out. I'm running 3 volts, 3 point something volts, so that's really low amps. So it's safe. reason why I'm taking such long hits right now and showing you on camera is because the problem a lot of people had, like with the Revape RBA, which also has a 510, is that it dried out quick. So you wouldn't get a hit without getting a dry hit, if that makes sense. You would be dragging and then boom, dry hit, because it couldn't wick as quick. Still ohming at a 0.76, so between 7.5 and 7.7 is what this is ohming out with. The Renco that I used to burn in the coil and everything and set it up, set around a 0.77. This is 0.75 to 76, so it's reading pretty accurately. The batteries are perfect. As soon as you touch that button, it's firing, so it's very quick fire. Okay, so no problems with their RBA. Perfect thing to buy. Get the RBA from ARTERY. These should be coming in through Denkat, this whole set. Okay, so once you see them hit the shelves, please pick them up because they probably won't last very long. Next thing is, you know, at 20 watts, I'm hitting this. I did 17 hits just now. Let's do 25 watts. And I'm getting the flavor still. Granted, it is the RBA, it is my build, so you know where you like your stuff. Not their coil. I won't use their coils right now. So now I'm going to go fully over pros and cons on this device. The pros of the device: looks nice, the aesthetics of it. It gives you functionality of two sides of the world. Has features and accessories that make it even better. They're designed to be for the device. So I would personally buy their product for their product, if that makes sense. It means buy their RBA, their 510. So if, say, your coil needs to be changed and on the fly you need to go and you have the 510, you can take the 510 plate, slap it on, take your tank or whatever you have, put it on and just go, because you know it's set up and ready. Very nice fitting, a lot of juice. That's one thing I'm going to tell you. 8 mil juice capacity. That is a positive to me in a way, but you're going to go through juice probably pretty quick if you're doing this at high watts, low builds. You know, especially with their mesh coil at a 0.17, you're going to suck down juice, so just remember that. Let me test it out. So I'm going to tear a piece of paper towel off so you can see it's clean. I'm going to put it over the mouthpiece and I'm going to see if it gets spit back. So it is giving me some spit back on it. It's not too bad, but it goes straight down into your coil, so a fuse clapped in, I mean, you're using, you know, it's going to give you a little juice, it's going to give you a little spit back, but that's normal, but you can hear the crack and pop. That's good. Cons on it is going to be the airflow. It's very loud. The 510 drip tip, you know, that you get with it, you can't use your other drip tips unless you have a drip tip that doesn't have an O-ring on it and it's thicker, like a bigger bore size. That's about the only way, or really thick O-rings is the only way it fits. So I personally say the way it looks is just to keep it with this setup. It's very nice. Okay, does very well. The other con is it's pretty difficult to switch colors. I've been having an issue with that part. Airflow and that are about the only, and the drip tip are the only cons I see on this. I see nothing else con-wise with it. It is a fast charger. If you had to on the fly charge it, it's a USB Type-C, which has balance charging. So it says balance charging, which I'm just old school. I don't choose to charge my mods off of a charging cable. I have a battery charger and I'll do that. Now with this being a dual battery, based off your build, it's going to last you longer and probably all day, if not longer, maybe 2 days. So it doesn't really necessarily mean you need to carry extra batteries, but I always carry an extra set just in case. You never know. The airflow being loud is the only thing I see on it. That's with a quarter airflow, and that still keeps me with flavor. Half airflow does the same thing. It seems the more air you add into it, the less flavor you're going to get. If we restrict it down, I can see you using this with Salt Nick. I can say that. And one that I would recommend, like I do with everything, is Denkat Salt Nick. It's very good. You'll see coming up, I'm going to do a review also on the new pod device from ARTERY. Version 2 of their pod. Okay, so all in all, I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope this helped you out with the device itself. Your pros, like I said, 8 ml juice capacity. It has its own 510, has its own RBA, 200 watts, dual battery. Comes with 2 coils, a 0.4 and a 0.1. What is this? A 0.1. I read it. 0.15, which says 60 to 80 watts, which means that much power. You're going to drain your batteries quicker. The 0.4. I didn't read what the best output was on that. That was the other con I should have mentioned, is the fact it didn't come in a individually wrapped package. That's the only thing. With the RBA, it came with 2 space coils, which were Kanthal A1, which means they will automatically heat up evenly. So all you have to do is put them in, screw them down, go. And they said they're supposed to ohm out at a 0.6. I didn't use them because I'm not a Kanthal person, so I'm sorry. I didn't want to use it. I probably should have, and I'm probably going to get people saying, well, you should have used the coils it came with to tell us what it's like. Well, I'm not going to. I use my own because I can judge things, how things taste with my coil that I use on a regular basis. This deck is a lot larger than the Revape deck, so you can add more cotton to it, and it also has it where you can add a little bit longer of a coil to it. And not too long, because it will limit you by the post. Now, the nice thing about this, which I should have showed down low, was it does have it where it will hold your coil in place. So you don't have to worry about a coil slipping, and you can put your coil whether it's belly up or belly down. It's your choice. And you could do it either way. So that's another nice thing about this deck, is they went out and thought about that. And, you know, it's just like all they did is they took their coil head where, you know, instead of having this base on here, you can screw it right in. Very smart. Very nice design. Love it. Good job, ARTERY. The only thing I hope to see is that they bring out more pods, because the only thing that would worry me is that the more you pull this on and off this pod, it may break this clasp right here because it is plastic. That would be the only thing I could see be the weak point of this. But the door itself, I have rewrapped batteries in here, and with that, I have no problem. And it has magnets on the back side, top and bottom, and it locks on, and you hear it click nicely. Minuscule up and down movement, but side to side, none. Branding, it's got a lot of it. Designed by ARTERY on the bottom. It says Nugget GT ARTERY on the back side of it, and then when you turn it on, it says Nugget GT. But that's about it. So let's turn it off. I want to check something else. Power off, so it's the same color. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so whatever color you select is the color that it turns on with or turns off with. So that's a nice thing. By holding the power buttons, typical of the mod, you can lock it. You can lock the firing button by, I think it's 3 or 4 clicks, and lock it up. So you do have safety features built into it. So that's the review for the ARTERY Nugget GT, and it has way more pros to me than cons. You know, the only thing I suggest, ARTERY, is with your secondary coil, put it in an individual bag if you have it on, say, if you bring another set out or another rendition out, and maybe also have some additional pods come out. It would be nice to have something like that, so to make sure people can replace this. And maybe also change your 510 drip tip, because that's a con setup, so that way people can use their own 510s. You know, a lot of people use 510s. So other than that, this is Joshua Osby with the Uncharted Vapers, and don't forget, this review was sponsored today by not only ARTERY, but Denkat themselves and the ProVape community. So I want to say thank you, everybody, for allowing me to do the review, to help everybody out and show what comes with it. So that's a big plus for everybody. And with that, I'll talk to you next time.